Hello guys, top 10 powerful fragrances on a shoestring budget. At the 10 spot we have Jacques Bogart Club 75. If you don't know who Jacques Bogart is, he makes fragrances like One Man Show, which is like your grandfather's fragrance. Sorry if I'm offending you if you like that fragrance. This one is more wearable to me. It's got cedar wood and musk and sandalwood, kind of giving that cinnamony, freshy, spicy notes. It's very strong and long lasting. Number 9 spot, we have one of my favorites from the old days. 10 years ago, when I had the old bottle of this, the old formula, it's called Thierry Mugler Angel Man, or Amen. I was scared to even pull the trigger one time. If I pulled the trigger 2 times on this fragrance, I would get some sort of headache, because probably it has some, back then, a real intense patchouli note. It still has caramel and coffee and patchouli, and to this day, even this new formula of this fragrance is enormous as far as walking around your scent bubble, your scent trail. It's fabulous, it's sweet, it's much better for colder weather, but you wanted budget fragrances that are super powerful, and this clicks all the marks. The next fragrance is called Versace Dreamer 1996. This one came out. Now my friend Jimmy, who's a kid who's got millions of dollars in Los Angeles, he's one of those nouveau rich type dudes that doesn't want to ever change. He actually wore Salvatore Ferragamo, the original clear bottle, for years until I showed him this one, and then he wore this for years until I showed him Dior Sauvage in 2017. Now he's trying to wear that for years. Anyway, we'll get back to Jimmy. Point is, he's got an unlimited budget, but he wants to wear fragrances on a budget, and he selected this one. This one has the notes of coumarin, which, if you can imagine in your head a lawnmower cutting some fresh bluegrass, Kentucky bluegrass, and the smell afterwards, that's what it produces, alongside some lavender and sage and rose and geranium. It's kind of a fresh, slight spicy, clean finish, and a very good price. Longevity was 7 hours. You'll get some compliments. Just perfect for Los Angeles and all those. As this list continues, I'm going to show you some fabulous fragrances to make you smell like a boss in a Bentley. And yes, you heard it right. You're going to smell like $1 million on a shoestring budget. And the next fragrance is a very, very talked about. Of course it's going to be on this list. And don't get mad and say you keep on talking about the same fragrances. It's because this one deserves to be talked about. It's simply called Bentley for Men Intense version. And this one has cinnamon, sage, and rum. And now let me tell you something. If you're new to fragrances, you might be careful to select this one, because many people that I personally know that are new to fragrances like simple fragrances that are blue aquatic freshies, like a Lacoste fragrance or a Versace fragrance. And when you come into this fragrance that has a woody, cinnamon, bold leather and patchouli notes, that means it's very much depth. It's got a lot of it's just in your face, loud and spicy. And I'm not sure if a woman will compliment you unless you have it well dressed, matching the fragrance. However, the fragrance is powerful and lasts all day, and found for under $30. The next fragrance is a new one on the block. It's called Abercrombie Fitch Authentic Night. It's got apple and an interesting rhubarb note. It also has vanilla and leather, and when you spray this on, it's got very huge projection. Have you ever smelled something called Abercrombie Fitch Fierce? This is like a darker version of it. Superb smell of smoky apple vanilla, and that's what you get with this fragrance. It's a Fougere Oriental combination. Pretty cool and very good all-around performance, and the price is very affordable right now. This next fragrance I discovered in 2018, the same year that this Prada Luna Rosa Carbon came out. Now, why am I showing you this? Because the fragrance is called Rare Carbon, and I'm thinking in my head, I was brand new to this company called Afnan, and I said, what is Rare Carbon? They're trying to make a Prada Luna Rosa Carbon. So I smelled it and I go, they didn't do that right. Then I got back to the fragrance and deep dove into the notes and tested it, and this fragrance is probably one of the strongest bang for your buck fragrances. And I have a story from a guy at the Chrysler plant. Now you're thinking about 100 feet ceilings. People are seriously masked up there, gloves and everything, at a Chrysler plant, or even like food plants. And he wore this 6 sprays and was getting compliments all day long on his shift. Rare Carbon smells like Tusk like Tom Ford Ombre Leather. It's a leather fragrance, and it's only like $34. It's an amazing fragrance. Now, if you were to compare the two at first smell, this one's going to be more strong and more synthetically medicinal, but as it dries down, you get to the beauty part, and you're versing $200 fragrance versus a $35 fragrance that gets you to the same spot. Target, Kmart, which one would you rather be at? Next fragrance we're going to talk about is Versace Blue Jeans. It comes in a can like this. It came out back in the old days. I love the can, the packaging on it. Now you might catch this at a TJ Maxx or Marshall's. Versace Blue Jeans is a fantastic fragrance. It is, however, dated. It's an old fragrance, but it does make you smell very rich on a shoestring budget. The fragrance has a powdery vanilla cherry background to it. It's got lots of freshness to it. It's a vetiver vanilla sandalwood iris dry down. So that all means that it's smooth, creamy, and delicious. Lasts for 7 hours. Price tag $20 to $25, attached to a strong brand name by Versace. They also make it for women, which is called Red Jeans. If you wanted to get matching sets, you know, you and your girl could have it. But this is like another dated fragrance, and it's a light cherry rose. Kind of, some people would say your grandma wears it, but people these days have all sorts of different avatars. I've heard that there's girls out there dressing like 90s, like everything 80s and 90s. I don't know what that entails, but this would match up with that character. If that fits in your club, or if you know someone like that and you have to give them a gift, it wouldn't be a bad gift if you knew someone that fit that character. The next fragrance we're going to talk about is easy. It's still super strong. It's simply called Youp Homme. It's a cinnamon sandalwood fragrance. It smells very famous, as if you were wearing a famous fragrance called Creed Original Santal. No, it's not a clone. It's definitely going in that direction, and people say this came out first, and Creed Original Santal copied the composition, so to speak. So you do have a very good fragrance, and 4.2 ounces, $20 or less. Now we're getting to your top two. I saved the best for last based on price, performance, and projection. Number 2, Azzaro's Wanted by Night. You have cinnamon, you have leather, it's sexy, it's boozy, it projects not too hard, but not too soft. It's just the right amount of everything. It's made by Azzaro, lasts 8 hours, and you will get compliments 100%. And number 1 fragrance today has leather, coffee, vanilla. It's my scent of the day, and it's getting a lot of compliments, and it's very modern for it just came out just a couple years ago. Womo by Salvatore Ferragamo. Leather, coffee, vanilla, 8 hours fragrance. Best fragrance on a shoestring budget to make you smell rich. Do you know how much Salvatore Ferragamo clothing costs, and the shoes and the belts? It's not cheap, I'll tell you that. But the cologne is, if you know where to buy it, in the United States fragrance discount sites. I put all the links down below. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any experience with any of these fragrances, comment down below to help others smell like a millionaire for less.